You don't have to strength train to be an athlete, but to be a better athlete, you must strength train. This is so fundamentally true, right? I'll share one of my stories. One of my athletes, Ashley, she loves to run. She has been running for most of her life, and for years, she enjoyed competing in marathon races. Running was basically all she knew. All right, but over the years, she had suffered through numerous of injuries, like intense and painful Achilles tendonitis, which often left her sitting on the sideline, frustrated that she can't do what she loves to do. But of course, like most athletes, she bounced back, sucked it up, and kept on running. But what really hit the tipping point is when she suffered from a jumper's knee, which left her in a brace for a couple of weeks. And boy, just the thought of taking another extensive break from running was really a hard pill for her to swallow. At this point in her life, she felt defeated. She thought she would never be able to run as often as she liked, not be able to run as fast, or to ever compete again. All because she feared that these injuries will keep rearing its ugly head every time. All right. But then she was introduced to strength training, and this is where we flushed out a lot of her discrepancies and helped her realize that she was weak in many areas where she was experiencing these injuries. So the key was to not only strengthen those weak areas, but to help her body possess a well-rounded ratio of strength to endure the repetitive demands of running, right? And then after investing her time to properly strength train, she was able to get back to her running schedule and maintain a good weightlifting schedule. So my main point here is that improving athletic performance it's not so difficult, but it's easily overlooked, right? Building a stronger body has such a positive impact on all areas of performance. It helps break the cycle of injury from sports, which often leaves our bodies vulnerable to muscular imbalances and faulty movement patterns, which that naturally occurs in a lot of these sports. And I'll give you another example. Say you're dealing with shoulder pain on your right side, on the front of the shoulder. It's likely due to focusing on building too much, you want a bigger chest, right? So you're doing a lot of chest exercises. So the repetitive nature of that angle on the shoulder joint had caused that flare up on that shoulder. So your training needs to be a bit more balanced with the opposite contraction, like a row exercise. So spending time in a phase strengthening your back and less time overworking your chest would actually do you some good. And in fact, it should give you a bigger return in your investment in building a bigger chest, okay? But just to finish up here, I'll give you another example of one of my athletes, Catherine. She's a volleyball player who dealt with recurring shoulder pain, which had affected her ability to produce overhead force when she was hitting the ball across the court, and also, sat her out on the side a lot of her games, which was no fun for her. But with a sport like volleyball, it places a repetitive demand on the shoulder by overloading the tissues around the shoulder area, like the rotator cuff, pec minor, and the deltoids, all the good stuff. But she realized she wanted to maintain her strength and power in this high-paced dynamic sport. So she needed to strengthen her shoulder and the surrounding muscle groups. So I put her through a progressive structural balanced strength training plan, and within a couple of months she had noticed a significant difference in the way her arm and shoulder felt and moved, and that she was able to actually sustain her way to keep on playing in her games. So though her journey is far from over, she continues to improve and strengthen and balance out her training so that her performance doesn't suffer on the court, and she can continue to do what she loves to do, which is play volleyball. So the main point I'm trying to get at here is that achieving optimal structural balance and the significance of having all your supporting muscles ultimately assisting your bigger muscles to perform the actions is the core to optimal performance in any sport that you do. All right. And then what I find most commonly with most athletes is that they aren't aware they have these structural discrepancies. Most of the time, it's due to their training program, where they may feel they're performing the right exercises, but they're spending way too much time on strengthening areas that are already strong, but they think that strengthening those areas will further their performance. But it leaves out this weak areas, right? Like I talked about, or they save those weaker areas as an afterthought, and they do those light exercises, right? You save your rotator cuffs or your face pulls at the end of a workout, and don't really place a whole lot of value in them. But anyways, so those are one of many things that a lot of these athletes come across. But if you find yourself being one of those athletes and you find yourself struggling, dealing with injuries similarly like the two examples I've given you, then hey, I have a program that may be just right for you. It's called Bulletproof Athlete. It is a 6-month app-based workout plan that is structurally sound and already made from starting from a solid foundation, kind of meeting you where you are, and then with each phase you will progress and become noticeably stronger. You'll feel good. You'll be able to notice the strength qualities that you're building and the value of it that carry over into your sport. So if you want to learn more about that, either reach out to me in the comments below, or check out our website at pdxstrengthsociety.com. Check out Bulletproof Athlete. It's a great workout. If you like to work out on your own, it has all the videos you need, video demonstrations and tracking metrics so you can track your weight and stuff like that. And also you have access to us as well to communicate in case you have any questions along the way, or if you need any modifications in the programming, we can definitely do that for you. So anyways, check it out. If you have any questions, let me know, and I'll see you guys later.